For those of you who are not familiar with SonyDADC, we are a supply chain company. We're a global company. Basically, what we do is provide services to video companies, music labels, the Hollywood studios, game publishers, and we help them to get their digital and physical product into the marketplace. The company was founded in 1983, and we have a lot of services around that, one of which is DRM. So we've been in the DRM business for just over 15 years, and we have 1.2 billion physical and digital units that have been sold that use our DRM. Now, most of that is for video games and video titles for the Hollywood studios. So we have a lot of experience with DRM. So why did we create an ebook DRM? Well, about 4 years ago, we were called into the office of one of the major book publishers in New York, and they said to us, you know, guys, you have such great DRM for video games and for video, what about ebooks? We're not happy with the current solutions, they're broken, and do you have anything for us? So we became very interested and we started looking at the market. And we decided to take a very careful examination. We spent 6 months, and we hired industry experts to help us get requirements and to see if we could create value with a DRM, with a new DRM. So during this time, this gathering requirements time, there was 2 things that really struck me. First, from publishers, especially in North America, we discovered that they do want a robust DRM. They are concerned about protecting their IP, but more importantly, what they're concerned about is renewability, so that if the DRM gets hacked, and every DRM gets hacked eventually, that it can be renewed, updated, and refreshed. That was very important. The other thing, which is actually even more important, was that publishers in the US especially are very concerned about having a vibrant marketplace. They want a vibrant marketplace. They want lots of stores selling lots of books to lots of consumers. What they don't want is a DRM that prevents stores from creating new business rules, that will help them compete against the dominant players like the Amazon. So that was like the most important takeaway. So we continued building requirements, understanding the market, and we felt that we could create value by creating a new DRM for ebooks. And we decided on using Marlin. So Marlin is an open standard. It's not open source, it's an open standard, and it was started by 5 companies, Samsung, Intertrust, Panasonic, Sony, and Philips. And these 5 companies got together, they created the DRM. It's widely used, and it's an excellent framework for ebooks. It met a lot of the requirements that we discovered during that 6-month period. These 6 companies formed the Marlin Development Community, which is a third-party organization that licenses the DRM. So my company, SonyDADC, went to the Marlin Development Community, we got a license, and we created the DRM. Anybody can do that. So that's why it's an open standard. It's not closed, it's not run by one company. Okay. So what are the key features and benefits of URMS? Well, first, security, as we talked about, so it's renewable. So when it gets hacked, it can be modified and updated. So there won't be these one-click hacks that somebody can just go write a script and basically strip the DRM from the books. No need to distribute unencrypted files, and this is something that we heard from publishers. They don't want their books out unencrypted. So with our solution, the files can be encrypted and then sent to the partners. Flexibility. Many use cases supported, more than any other solution. So the way Marlin works is if you have a book going to 2 different users, you can have different rights because the license is at the book user level. And that's what allows all the flexibility. Revocation and renewal of license. So if I go to a library and I borrow a book, the library can say I can extend the lend period without having me to go re-download the book. They can just do it with the license. On the other side, revocation. So if I work for a corporation and tomorrow I resign, the corporation can revoke the licenses on my device so that I will have no longer access to the materials that they've given me. Easy to use for developers. So we've been in this business for a long time. We have very clear and concise SDKs and white papers that developers can use, and I think you'll hear that from some of the folks here today, to do implementations. We work with any common media type, and the costs are very reasonable. So now, more importantly, for the consumer, ease of use. There's no additional steps. So as a consumer, if I go to a library and I lend a book, or I go to a store and I buy a book, I open it up and I read it. I don't need to do anything else. I don't have to go get an ID. I don't need to go to another website. I don't need to have a password. I just open the book and read it. And that is what makes a good DRM. A good DRM should be that the consumer does not even know it's there, unless they're violating the business rules, which most consumers don't do. Enables multiple devices in the user domain. So the way our system works, we set up a domain, so it's a user with all their devices. So when a license is given for a particular book, it can go across as many devices as the business rules permit. Okay. So what does it take to launch a new DRM? Well, it takes a lot more to launch an ebook DRM than a DRM for video games or video, and we realized that pretty early on. So you need a rendering engine. And we were very fortunate that Redium was being built at the same time as we were developing our solution. So we worked very closely with the Redium engineers, and our solution is fully compatible with it. Major publishers sign off. So the major publishers have stipulations in their contracts that they have to approve the DRM that's being used for their books. And some of them do quite a bit of technical due diligence. They go through your solution to make sure that they're happy with it. And they also check IP, because they want to make sure that there's no IP violations, that they won't have any liability down the road. Reading applications. You need a lot of reading applications. You can't just have one or two. You have to have a lot. Initial platform support. So you need iOS, you need Android, Windows, Mac. You need these things to go to market. You have to be compatible with all of them. Ongoing platform support. So when iOS or Windows makes an update, you have to go and make sure that your solution within the ecosystem is compatible with that update. And to do that, you need a lot of resources. Integrators. Many stores, small libraries, they don't have the resources needed to onboard a new DRM. So you need integrators like Datalogics, like Mark here, that can help you do that. Distributors. You need distributors that are compatible with your DRM, like a DeMarc and a Numalog. And then very important, customer support. So we have many years, like I said, in DRM, a lot of experience with it. And to do this right, you need 24/7, multi-language, multi-territory customer support. It's really important. So this is the state of our ecosystem. It's taken us almost 4 years to build. We have reading applications, a lot more than one now. We have live implementations, and we have customers coming on board. So we've built an entire ecosystem around our DRM. Okay, so why URMS? So SonyDADC has a long history of being committed to helping our customers protect their IP. We've invested well over $2 million in this project, so we're committed to it. We're not going anywhere. We're very fortunate. We have a technology partner called Denuvo that is based in Salzburg, Austria. And these guys are ex-Sony guys. They're world-class engineers with expertise in DRM and anti-piracy solutions. We have Reinhardt over here, who's the CEO. Raise your hand, Reinhardt. We have a growing ecosystem now in place, and we listen. So we listen to our customers, we listen to our partners, we understand, because we're in the entertainment industry, when they have a business critical need, we find solutions for them. Okay. Last thing I just want to say, so there are two companies that have most of the patents around DRM. One of them is Intertrust, and the other is Pendrell. So our solution, URMS, is free and clear of any infringements, which makes everybody feel more comfortable in the ecosystem.